Uncle Gold Clips. There's this famous question, like, what's in it for me? Like, what
Yeah.
will the like, I don't want to say small person, but like the regular public get out of these rockets flying into space continuously more and more? How will we profit from that? What are some of the benefits that you can see for us?
Yeah. So I think it was a study that was done that showed that every dollar invested into the space industry so far has yielded about $7 of economic value,
Hmm.
um,
Wow.
and that's in a lot of cases that's unforeseen benefits. I mean, there's the obvious stuff like satellite communications, um, the ability to see the Earth from orbit gives you information on crop data as well as national security information, just spy satellites, in other words. Um, you also have kickback technologies like the boom in computer processors from starting in the 60s and going through the 70s. That was sort of kickstarted by the Apollo missions.
Mm-hmm.
You have other little kickbacks like uh, I mean, people think of Tang, the orange drink in the US. Velcro, I don't know if that really is a kickback from the space industry, but
Mm-hmm.
what we're looking at happening in the future, when people go to Mars, they're not just going to land there and just live there as it is. They want to turn that planet into a livable place. And that process is called terraforming, making it more Earth-like. That involves a lot of large-scale environmental change. And that's something that we've kind of gotten good at in a bad way over the course of the Industrial Revolution. So, changing a planet from a bad place to live to a good place to live is going to be a very illuminating development process. And it's going to have kickbacks for how we repair Earth's climate and environment. Um, so that's the sort of the long-term benefit for it. Short-term, uh, getting cheaper access to space, getting equipment up there, large-scale equipment in these very big rockets, and then having an extremely economic way to get stuff back from space as well, because part of the whole reusability thing is that the entire rocket is going to come back.
Yep.
So you can put stuff in that rocket and bring it back. So we can get space manufacturing done, which means manufacturing stuff in zero G. If it's any kind of complex crystalline structure, medical drugs and stuff like that, you can grow these things in perfect form in zero gravity. Whereas under the force of gravity, the crystalline structures tend to break down. So you get much more effective drugs, much more efficient circuitry. And then going beyond that, once we're able to get out of Earth orbit, there are riches beyond our wildest dreams in the asteroid belt.
Mm-hmm.
All of the gold that Uncle Gold, all of the gold that humanity has access to has been deposited on the Earth after the formation of the Earth by asteroid and comet impacts. And the reason for that is that when the Earth was forming, it was a big ball of molten rock, as we all know, and settlement occurred. So heavier stuff would tend to sink, and you have layers and layers of progressively heavier elements. And at some point in that sort of slice through the Earth, very, very deep down, there is a layer of gold and lots of other valuable minerals. But they are so deep down, and the matter of the Earth is in a molten state at those layers, that it's impossible for humanity to access. The pressures are too high, the temperatures are too high. But the reason the gold has been deposited by asteroid and comet impacts is because those small bodies don't have that same those same environments, those same pressures and temperatures in their formation. So, and the gravity sorting is much lower because the gravitational field of those objects is much smaller. So evenly distributed through these little rubble piles in space are lots of gold, lots of molybdenum, lots of titanium. Well, maybe not titanium, but lots of
Precious metals.
platinum. Exactly.
Yeah.
And if we have an economic way of retrieving those and using those, then that is extremely profitable. So there are numerous companies, and there has been legislation enacted in the US and in other countries to enable companies to fly out to these asteroids and mine them. And once the transportation issue is solved, that's going to be a new gold rush, a literal gold rush.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the full version, go to the Uncle Gold Podcast YouTube channel or watch the next clip.